Hi guys, very good afternoon to all of you. I hope you all had your lunch and ready for the second session of last lap from Innovation and Entrepreneurship section. So guys, in the morning, I hope you've gone through the theory once again if possible. I hope it was possible for you to do that. We have seen a lot of theory. Some part of it was new, some part of it was revision. Right now in this session, as promised, I'm going to have a little theory but a lot of questions that will test you the concepts you have learned till now. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead. This is going to be a shorter session. It's not going to be a longer one. So about 35 minutes is what I'm looking at. Let's go ahead, my friends, and take a look at what we have in store for this particular session. Okay, so we're going to look at certain terms which are related to startups. We have seen certain processes earlier in the day today. Today we're going to talk about certain glossary which talks about terms related to startups. Okay, so here are certain terms. First thing is something called as an accelerator and an incubator. Now you might have heard about these words, accelerator and an incubator. What are these and how are they different? So let's try to understand a little bit about them. Accelerator, as the name itself indicates, it's a organization. It could be a company, it could be a group of people, it could be a setup within a company, whatever. It is a way in which you can accelerate or fasten, basically accelerate or make things move fast with respect to a startup. Okay, so it is basically a hub where startups are given mentorship, space to work and their ideas and sometimes a seed capital also. So an accelerator typically comes with mentorship because you want something to grow fast. That is not the natural process for it, right? So why will something go fast without being helped externally? And what is that help externally? That is what is called as mentorship. Somebody who knows how to scale things, somebody who knows how to run startups, somebody who knows what are the pitfalls of a startup, that kind of a person or a group of such people will come and give mentorship as a part of their involvement. So they can take different types of involvement in the company, but as an accelerator, it gives you a platform to reach out to such people, and these people will be able to help the startup so that the startup doesn't have to go through the pitfalls that are known. Okay, see, unknown things anyway will come your way, unknown challenges, but at least things that are known that can be avoided, if you are able to avoid them properly, you will be saving a lot of money, time and effort. That is what an accelerator does. Now what is an incubator? Once again, incubator is again a platform. The only difference is an incubator is where the company actually takes birth. Typically incubators are in colleges, typically. So you need to understand why are incubators in colleges. See, many students in the college they come up with ideas. They will not have the money, they don't know what to do, they just have an idea. So a good college, most of the IITs have incubators, most of the IIMs have incubators. The purpose of these incubators is to help these graduates who don't have money right now. They just have an idea. So they will, let them form their company under them. They will even teach them, first of all, how do you form a company. You have to register yourself under the Companies Act and you have to name your company. So from that process, it's like complete hand-holding. The word itself is incubation, like an egg gets incubated for so many days and then a chicken is born out. So it is the process which the entire process is taken through for them. And that is basically what an incubator is. So what is the difference? Because both sound very similar. This is also doing the same thing, this is also doing the same thing. Typically incubators may or may not have mentorship. They may or may not have funding. Okay, they will give you a space mostly. They'll give you a space to sit and work. They'll give you some resources see, if I am a company founded by the final year student, right? I'm the engineering final year, and I have to do a project. So I'm collaborating with my professor for that. And after working on the project, typically for engineers, last 1 year they'll have some project, or last half year there'll be some project. During the part of the project, I'm talking to my professor, and slowly some idea comes up for the two of us. What do we do then? we can't directly put tons of money because they might not have it. So they will go to the incubator cell in this particular college and they'll say that, look, this is the idea, we need a computer to work for, we need a place to sit, we need a telephone line to reach out to people, we need to have an address for my company when we register. Where is the address? So all this will be helped by the college. Abhishek, CMAT admit card typically 4 or 5 days pehle aa jayega. So don't worry. Okay, so that's an accelerator incubator. So here is a difference in a tabular form. Funded by an existing company, accelerator. Incubator, typically they are independent firms or it could be colleges also. One of the most common places to find incubators are, in India at least, colleges. And incubators could be private firms which are acting as incubators also. Typically what happens is, if I am a technology firm, huge giant, I would have a platform where I will encourage other people with technological ideas to come. One reason I do that is I will see what the innovation is, what is happening. If there's a really good idea, I might go outright and purchase that person and the company's the person's company, and keep that person as the head of the company and continue it. So I will own it overall. That's the incentive for a private big company to have an incubator cell. Same thing with accelerator also. So aimed at scaling up companies, as I said, accelerator is about getting the things fastened. And here the focus is on innovation. So you are trying to get the product ready, you're trying to get the new idea. In incubator, it's not about speed. They'll give you time. Typically, they'll say that, okay, you can work in this office for 4-5 years or 3-4 years after your college, and you don't have to pay anything much except for a nominal rent. Getting an office space is costly at the beginning of your, if you're establishing a company for the first time, you don't have any revenue. That rent itself is going to kill you. That's the big advantage. So you will have a company, you don't have to pay the rent. They can give you rent free. It will not be rent free technically, but they will say that, okay, you pay me later. So they can say that you're going to have a 1 year gap before you start paying the rent, and that rent will also be very cheap, and things like that will fee electricity. You might not even have to pay the bill for the time being. They will say that, okay, we'll collect it later in a different way, whatever. All these facilities could be possible. Time frame of a few months, long term, as I said, can take even years. So accelerators are not about long term. So they want to quickly get you, see what you need, give it to you, and then move on. Incubators, as I said, it's a normal process. They will guide you, they will help you with all these things that I just mentioned. They do take equity accelerators. Incubators are usually non-profit, as I said, colleges. They don't expect a profit by helping out their students. But yes, sometimes if the resources required are too much, then the institute might say that, okay, I'm doing it for free to a certain extent. Beyond that, let's have some kind of an agreement, some kind of a sharing of revenue, or some kind of a equity or something else, whatever. It is not, I'm not saying that it will never happen, but usually it is not. That's the difference, okay? Then have a much more structured program, because as I said, see, you want to get things done in few months. If there is no structure, you can't get that done so quickly, right? So the program will be much more structured. This is very, very, incubators are very, there's no structure per se. You want to imagine the environment where you're in a college, you go there, you want to talk to your professor. If he's available, he'll talk, otherwise he can't talk. If he's taking a class, he's on a vacation, he can't talk. So it's very fluid, and you will have all the time you want as long as you're in the campus, few years after the campus also. Ayush, yes, there are 2 more sessions on I&E. You can search for 100 expected questions. While the whole idea was that I'll be giving you 100 questions, we didn't have enough time. So, but I had some more theory covered there. So the 3 sessions you're talking about, and 2 of those sessions from 100 expected questions, that will finish the entire theory. Okay. And we were supposed to have a lot more time for 100 expected questions, but we had to cut it short, that series, simply because the CMAT date got announced, so we had to launch last lab. Anyway. Now the second, some more terminology that we're going to learn is financing of a company. See, typically, how will a company raise money? How will a company get money? The starting of a company. So either you'll take money from the founders. I'm starting a company, I will put my money, which is called as equity, or I will go to a bank and take some money, which is basically called as debt. Now remember, debt will not be given to a company that easily. A startup, a new company, it's very difficult to get debt for a company, because you need to understand, why will the banks give loan? What if your idea fails? It's very risky. See, banks will always be happy in giving loans to companies that have proved themselves. But they are not startups anyway, because they've been doing their business, they know there's profit, revenue, everything is taken care of. So the banks are also happy doing that. For a startup, getting debt is from a bank is a bit difficult. Okay. Typically, debt when they take, it is not from banks unless there is a government scheme involved. So government has come up with a lot of schemes to give loans to medium and small enterprises. We will see, in fact, we already seen that in one of my earlier series. We have spoken about different government schemes. So one of the schemes was Samrid, if I'm not mistaken. It was to take care of certain types of startups by giving them loans up to a particular limit. So that is possible. Otherwise, a company will go to an individual and take money as debt. The startup will not probably want to take it as equity, but as debt for different reasons. We'll not get into why equity or why debt, because that's a little bit to do with finance and understanding the whole idea of what happens if you give up equity versus what happens if you take debt, the cost implications of that, as well as the ownership implications of that. We're not getting into that. But yeah, ultimately the company decides that, okay, I'll take a loan in certain cases or I'll take an equity in certain cases, depending upon the need of the hour. The next word is bootstrapping. What is bootstrapping for a startup? See, a company can grow in 2 or 3 ways. One is called organic. In fact, broadly speaking, company can grow in 2 ways. One is organic, the other is inorganic. What is organic growth? Organic growth is the company growing by itself. It is making revenues. You will make from that revenues, you'll have expenses, you'll make profits. That profits will be used to make more product. So you'll have more revenue. So that's a cycle. You have revenue. To have that revenue, you had some expense. The remaining is your profit. This profit you will use to make more product than what you had. So that more product will give you more revenues, even bigger profit, and the cycle keeps continuing. It's a slow process. But there's a growth. That kind of a growth is called as organic. It is sometimes also called as bootstrapping. Okay, a situation in which an entrepreneur starts a company with little capital, relying on personal finances. So you start small and then you try to make something out of it, keep growing, keep growing, keep growing, next step, next step, next step, time consuming. Bootstrapping is time consuming, organic is time consuming. Okay, now what is inorganic growth then? Inorganic growth is basically taking external help, any form of, not help necessarily. Inorganic growth comes when you have external involvement. What is external involvement? External variables I am utilizing. I can purchase a company straight away and I can say that I'm growing, because think about it. If I have a company which is having a revenue of 100 rupees and I'm going to, and this 100, normally this 100 will become 110. But this company has a lot of money in its pocket. The only thing is it can't grow its sales. Just by spending money, you can't grow sales every time. So it is not able to grow much. But if this company can take another company which is making a revenue of 50, then this 110 next year, instead of 110, you'll be getting plus 50. So you'll be making 160, a bigger growth. But this growth is coming because of your own small part, your growth, as well as an acquisition that you have gone through or you have done. So such kind of growth is called as inorganic, and it's not just always acquisition. It could be a merger, it could be a strategic joint venture, whatever. But it is not only your company, something else is being a part to the story. So such a thing is called as inorganic growth. Now investing, the terms related to investing is what we're going to get into now. Certain types of investments is what we're going to look at. First is crowdfunding. What is crowdfunding? Crowdfunding is typically reaching out to aam janta, a lot of people, taking small amounts from them, so that for them it's not a big burden, and when hundreds and thousands of people do that, you will end up getting a huge amount. So you are getting a huge amount without burdening anybody, so that even if the company fails, you will at best lose, let's say, 1,000 rupees, or you'll lose 500 rupees. Whereas if you are investing in a company on your personal capacity, you might be putting in 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs. Then if the company goes down, you lose the entire money. So that's basically what is called as crowdsourcing, where from the entire crowd, now who is this crowd? Could be anybody. You will just reach out to them in a, you can, in fact, one of my friends released a movie by crowdsourcing or crowdfunding. So he put a message in our college group saying that, hey guys, I'm thinking of making a movie. This is a script. Read about it if you like. Click on this link and please donate some money. So a lot of people gave in. He got his budget. He made the movie. It was okay, kind of a movie, but yeah, that's the point. So people can have this thing called as crowdsourcing or crowdfunding. The next thing is angel investor. Now, who is an angel investor? As the name indicates, angel is basically somebody who's coming to your help, like an angel, right? That's how the name comes. So an angel investor usually is an individual or one or two people or a small group of people who are putting their personal money into the business. And usually they come at the early stage when the business needs small amount of money. So angel investors are individuals or a group of people, 2, 3 or whatever number of people coming together who understands the business and they're able to support the business by giving them money. So normally angel investors not only give money, they will also give expertise. So if I'm a company, I would ideally go to an angel investor who knows knowledge or who has the knowledge about my industry as well as the time to help me. Only knowledge doesn't work, right? You should have the knowledge and time, and I will take money from such a person because in such a case, he's put money in me. He will be happy to help me grow because if I'm growing his money. He'll be happy to do that. I will not go to a person who does not understand my industry, just gives me money, can't guide me. So then I have to go to somebody else for that guidance and I have to pay that person. Why will anybody do charity to me? So I would ideally, as a startup, go to an angel investor who understands my business. Okay, the next thing is called as venture capital. Venture capital is basically a slightly bigger, it's basically typically a company, not an individual. And venture capitals usually do money or rather investment, which is a higher amount than what angel investors can. So there are different types of venture capitals. Once again, guys, there's no hard and fast rule. If you, as I said in one of my previous sessions, if the richest man in India wants to become an angel investor, he could put few hundred crores, right, on his or her own personal capacity because they are the richest person in India. But if we say that a venture capital, if I compare and say that okay, that is a angel investor, but venture capital, I am looking at one company which is able to put 10 crores, but that person is putting 100 crores. I can't compare it like that because the idea of a venture capital is that usually come at early. You are an individual, you put your own personal money, could be high, could be low. That's the whole idea. Venture capital is a firm, an organization whose purpose is to invest in companies. That is the reason for its existence. A venture capital typically gets into early stage businesses. They will collect money from high net worth individuals. They'll take money from people who have a lot of money to invest. Saying that, look, you cannot go keep searching for companies to invest as an individual. So, but if you want to invest in startups, we will do that job for you. And when we make money from the money that you share with us, we will give you, we will give the returns obviously with a small percentage that we take. So that's how venture capitals typically work. Okay, and sometimes venture capitals will have their own, pocket purses also. They raise funds for investment from various people. That's what basically happens in, these are the three basic terms that you need to understand when it comes to investments. So these are the three things I already explained to you. Okay. Now, venture capital at times can also be an individual running his or her own company, single company. Anyway, let's move on. So as I said, the difference, angel investor operates independently, belongs to a company or a firm. Venture capital, basically venture capitalist is a person who belongs to a company or basically a bigger organization. Amount invested is less, as I said. Again, less is a relative term. It all depends on the ability of that individual who's putting in money. Amount invested is higher, venture capital, because it's typically a firm whose job is to invest, so they will source funds for that purpose. Offers mainly only financial assistance. Actually, this is changing. This is an older way of thinking that they will give only financial assistance. Angel investors, to a certain extent, they also give the knowledge of the business. Venture, definitely this is anyway taken care of because venture capital will have a higher reach out. See, if I compare between an angel investor and a venture capitalist, an angel investor is an individual who wants to put money in my business. He might know the business great, but he might be having the strong point in marketing, probably not in the other parts, which is strategy, or probably in terms of operational strategy, or in terms of operations for that matter, or IT for that matter. He might be able to help you in one sector. But when it comes to a venture capital, they will be able to do a much better coverage in terms of help, because it is not one individual there. They can reach out to their people who have funded them and say that, look, you want marketing, this guy will help you. You want sales, this guy will help you. You want operations, this guy will help you. And that's how the venture capital will be of a better help, because they come with a bigger group of people. They specialize in early stage companies, slightly next stage. So venture capital, so angel investors typically the rock bottom starting, first 5, 6 months, 7 months of starting. Venture capital can come early also, but usually they come a little bit late after they. So the way to think about it is, when the money that you need cannot be given by a single individual, normal single individual, you will then start looking out to venture capital, and normally these guys only connect them. Because an angel investor, personal capacity, I might be putting money, but now I realize this company is growing, the idea is good, I might be a part of a venture capital. Then I'll say that, okay, now I will not put my personal money because I can't put that much amount of money. See, I gave you 1 crore personal capacity, I had that money, I gave you. You did excellent, good, now you need 10 crores. I can't put that money. So what will I say? I'll ask you to go to my venture capital if I have one, or because I'm in the business of having money, I will obviously know other people who have a lot of money, and there will be either I'll ask them as a group, or I'll ask them to go refer me to a venture capital firm which can invest in this kind of a business. Does not necessarily have a board seat, usually takes a seat for the board of directors. Angel investors usually, again, none of this is hard and fast. These are small differences. So angel investor individual may not want to be as a part of the board. Whereas a venture capital, now we are getting a bit more formal into things, so they might want to have a seat on the board. And angel investor, the other thing is, see, think of a startup. What board meetings are you talking about? In a startup, there's one office, 1 chair, 2 chairs, 3 computers, 3 people working. What board is that? What board meeting is that? Nothing. Everything is then and there. So the angel investor is also like, why do I want, there's nothing called board seat and all. We are first thinking about making the product. Product is itself not ready, so we'll have to fight it out. That's the attitude. But when you're getting a slightly later stage, you're talking about the company which has grown slightly bigger. Now you have a slight hierarchy. So therefore it could be that, you can have a board meeting possible. It might be required. There might be some discussions, some decisions to be taken. They want to be a part of all of them. Rupali, that's what I said already. I think the admit card can be expected about 4 or 5 days before the exam. Okay. All right, moving on. Now, stages of funding. First stage is the seed funding. This is basically the first official money that you take. It's called seed funding. It could be from your parents, from your relatives, your own money, whatever. So if somebody asks, where did you get the seed funding? Seed funding means the initial money that you invested to start the business. That's called as seed funding. Okay. Series A funding is the next, after the seed funding, the next round of funding is typically called as Series A. What is the purpose of Series A? You have to develop a track record. So once a business has developed a track record, it may opt for Series A funding in order to further optimize its user base and product offerings. So the whole idea here is, look, I took the seed funding, made some basic idea of the product, that's fine. Now I want to make the product usable, robust, before even going to the market. I'm not even talking about going to the market. I'm making the product which is perfect. So that requires more R&D, more money, more time, more effort. That is where the Series A comes. Then you have Series B funding, where now the product is ready, you've spent the time, it is usable, it's proper. Now I'm thinking about growth. So marketing and for sales, channel establishment, marketing, advertisement and marketing, and the entire setup of my business. So that's where I'll be using this money for. And Series C to develop new products. So one product is now it's ready, it's being selling. Now I want to raise more money to have a parallel line of business, another line or another product. That's where you talk about Series C. Okay. Or you want to get into new market. So let's say I've been doing good in India, but now I want to go to Singapore and do business there. Not easy. The cost structure will be different. In fact, I'll need initial money, a lot more money, because the costing will be different there. So I might raise money saying that, look, the same product I want to sell in Singapore, not in India. Rather, I'll continue in India, but Singapore I want to expand, and the money that I'm getting from Indian operations, I'm making profits, but that will not be enough for me to go and invest directly. So I need more money, so that will be called as Series C. Now, Exit strategies. What are exit strategies? How do companies become non-existent? So it's like, company is born. Everything that is born somewhere has to end. So how can that end happen for a company? One is that you are bought out. You are a company, you have been purchased by somebody else, which means you stop to exist. You will be a part of another bigger business, but you as an individual company per se, the identity is lost. So you don't exist after that. That's one way in which it can stop. You will come out with an initial public offering. Now here in an IPO, it's not exactly the company stopping. The company doesn't stop in an IPO. But what is the exit strategy? So here, the exit strategy is for your investors. So when a merger or acquisition happens, I am an investor in this company, I can sell my share and then I can make money. Or if it is going for initial public offering, if the company is coming out with initial public offering, it is basically selling the shares of the company. In that case, I as an investor can also sell my shares to the public and I'll make money from it. So that's one way in which I can exit the company. Sell to a friendly individual, as I said, either it's this, they are both related. Initial public offering is going to the public, whereas if it is not public, it is to a private individual or a group of private individuals that will be basically selling to somebody that I know. It is not IPO per se, it's basically selling my share of the company to somebody that I know because they're interested and I want to get out of this. We both will agree to a certain price and then we'll exit. Or rather, I'll exit and the other person will continue. Liquidation close is the worst case scenario where your business did not do well, or the chance that you thought had is not there, whatever is the reason. Basically you're saying that, look, the company is not feasible, so let's sell everything that we have, all assets, all computers will sell off, all chairs, tables, everything will sell off, and finally we'll see, okay, any money to be paid to anybody, will pay everything. That is called basically liquidation, everything, and paying off your debts, whatever are there if possible, and then you say, okay, no more business, so we'll wrap up the company. Okay. Now, when businesses are doing their business, they can do business in multiple ways. What are these different types of businesses? One is direct, D2C, direct to consumer. What does it mean? It means it's a type of business which reaches out directly to the consumer without any third party in between. The best example is any of these, Lenskart, Licious, Country Delight, that way. So you are reaching out to the customer directly, they will come to your platform or to your shop, they will buy things and then they'll go. It's called direct to customer, D2C. You have business to customer. What is a business to customer? So basically you're talking about Amazon, Tata Motors, Starbucks, etc., who are directly reaching out to the customer. So now Amazon, if you look at it, it is business. Amazon is a company, but Amazon allows other brands to advertise or rather sell on their platform, and so my business as Amazon is to let other businesses sell to you. You are a customer. So business to customer directly. See, whereas Licious is selling its own product, Amazon is actually a mix. It will sell its own products also, but it will also allow other businesses to sell to you. So that is basically business to customer. So basically these are both very, very similar. Okay. Then you have business to business. So if I'm a business and I want to sell things to another business, that's called as business to business. So what are the best examples? You have TCS, all the IT companies. What is the IT company doing? It's not selling it to individual, right? You and me. What is it selling to? It's selling its services to another company. So business to business. Then we have consumer to consumer. All your eBay, Ola, OLX, not Ola, sorry, OLX. OLX, what do? You go and you sell it to somebody else. So OLX is a company which allows people to sell to people, customer to customer, direct interaction. eBay is also the same. I have something, I'll put it on eBay saying that I want to sell it at this price. Somebody likes it, they'll come and buy from me. So it's a business, customer to customer. It allows customer to interact. Then you have social commerce, Meesho, Shopify. These are basically the types of businesses that you can think about. So please keep this as examples, understand what they are. Okay guys, so that's the theory. So this brings us to the end of the theory. Let's take some questions as revision and let's see how much do you remember. Starting with the first question. Which of the following is an example of imitation? Read the options, 30 seconds, give me an answer right away. Let's see how many of you can get it right. Yes? So this these set of questions are based on the morning session. Another set of questions are based on the session for today, right now, the 3 p.m. session. So I have both set of questions. Okay, so let's see what is the first answer. Very good. The correct answer is option B. A company launching, see, imitation is copying something exactly. So a new company launching a brand of aloe vera gel to compete with an existing player, which means there is already an existing aloe vera gel player, and I'm going to compete with that player. So I'm releasing another aloe vera. That is basically imitation. Okay. Next, online grocery delivery is an example of. Very interesting. Let's see how many of you will get this correct. Online grocery delivery. If you remember the table in the morning that we discussed, y-axis was market, x-axis was technology, and then there was radical, disruptive, architectural and incremental innovation. So which one is this? Anyone? Shilpa, Jyoti, Mayur. Okay, I got A, B, D. Anybody for C? Nobody says radical. Okay, the correct answer is disruptive. Guys, what was that? If you remember, this was your target, right? So this was tech and this was your market. So we had 4 like this: existing, new, existing, new. This was incremental innovation. This was architectural innovation, radical innovation and disruptive innovation. Now look at it. Online grocery delivery. First of all, did the grocery market exist? People who want to go to grocery, purchase and go back, that existed, right? So the market is not new. The market is not new. If the market is not new, this and this are wrong, right? So because the market is existing. So existing markets, there are 2 possibilities. What is it? Is the technology existing or the technology is new? So if you notice, online grocery delivery technology was not there. So that is not an existing technology, that is a new technology. So this is gone. So this is correct. So disruptive innovation. Right? I hope this is clear. Let's move on. Which of this is our focus areas of innovation? So please go ahead, take a look at this. What is the answer, guys? Very good. So the answer for this is only one, and if you notice, time is not a focus area for innovation. There were 6 focus areas we saw, but time is not that. Time is not one of them. I hope you remember the 6, but let's move on. Process, value, both of them are 2 of the 6. Time is definitely not. Yes, I'm sure, Sakshi. It is disruptive position. Yes. The last few users of a product or technology are called quick. Last few users. Very good. Laggards. Very good, Mayank. Next question. What is the first stage in concerns-based adoption model? If you remember, there was a pyramid model we have seen, multiple stages. What is the first stage, bottommost? The stages start from bottom to top. Okay, what is the bottommost stage? Very good. It is option C, awareness. First comes awareness, then, guys, first awareness, then information. First comes awareness, then comes information. Remember that. Okay? Great. Next, which of these is characteristic of an organization that promotes innovation? And this is very simple, very straightforward, I believe. All of you should know this. And yes, of course, the answer is all of them. Many of you are right. Very good. Let's move on. Because we already saw that training employees for creativity, rewarding innovation with engaging work, promotion innovation as an organization value, all these things we have seen should be are actually good hallmarks of an organization which promotes innovation. Okay. Next, flywheel model. We have seen this model. Which company did we see this in? Which company was it? Apple, Microsoft, Google, or Amazon? Yes, of course. I'm happy you guys all remember this. The answer is Amazon, option C. Okay. Moving on. Next question. As per Google, what % of time and effort of an organization should be spent? We already saw this. There is a rule for Google. What is that? 70-20-10 rule. Straight away. Okay, not so difficult at all. So the answer is option B. Google follows the 70-20-10, where 70% is core, 20% is related to core, not exactly core, but somewhere related to core, and this is unrelated. Okay, that's your answer. Question number 9. This does not protect ideas but only covers tangible forms of creation and original work. We have already seen the different types of intellectual property rights or IP, intellectual property protection ideas. We have seen what is a patent. We have seen what is a hallmark. We have seen what is the other thing? Copyright, trade secret, all of these. So which one is this? Yes, very good, very good. So correct answer is, the answer is D, copyright. Copyright comes for tangible but only covers tangible, okay, does not protect ideas but only covers tangible forms of creation and original work. So a script, a story, or an idea of the way in which it is executed, those things. So that's a copyright. Okay. Next, which of the following cannot be considered as a trademark of a company? Great, go ahead, take a look at it and see. This we did not come across directly. We have seen what is the meaning of trademark. Now tell me what is the correct answer to this. Okay, great. So product shape can actually be a trademark. It is my product and this is the shape that I want to show always. And the moment you see the shape, you should think about my product. It is a trademark. Symbols like logos or slogans, as I said in the morning, your just do it, Nike. All these can be called as trademarks. However, product price cannot be called as a trademark. You can't say that only my product should be selling at 50 rupees. Nobody else should sell at 50. That cannot be possible. That's a straightforward answer, right? Next. Okay, so 10 questions based on what we discussed in the morning. Few more questions based on what we are discussing today. Bottle of Coca-Cola. Yes, Mayank, exactly. So the bottle itself could be called as a trademark. You can't allow anybody else to copy the shape of that bottle. Or Harpic for that matter. Right, there is a particular shape. They have patented the shape anyway. By the way, patent will not be given to a shape. When I say patented the shape, if there is a mechanism which is linked to the shape, that can be protected or that can be patented. So a shape will be a trademark if it is pure shape, nothing else. If it's a new shape, I am coming with my design idea, that's it. And there is no innovation with respect to how it is going to make the product better. Just by the shape, the product cannot become better. So such a thing will be called as a trademark. But if I use some mechanism because of which the shape will make the product better, like a nozzle which is a very sharp edge nozzle which will for some reason make things easier for me, that can be patented because that is a change in, or that is an innovation in the product, and the product is becoming better because of this innovation, and that can be patented. Okay, so some people have this bottle cap mechanisms which are patented. Some companies have that, different types of bottle caps that you can keep. Anyway, let's move on. The practice of funding a company by raising money from a large number of people is called. This very clearly the answer option is B, not a big deal. Everybody knows the answer to this. Question number 2, which of the following is a startup accelerator scheme by Government of India? This we did not discuss today per se, but we discussed in one of the other sessions. What is the answer to this? In fact, I did talk about it already. I gave you the answer already some time back. What is the answer, guys? D, yes. It stands for Startup Accelerators of MeitY. MeitY is Ministry of Electronic Information and Technology for product innovation, development and growth. Okay, Samrid scheme. Question 3. Which of the following is not true about a venture capital? Think about it carefully and please go ahead and give me the answer. Rishikesh says, sir, आपने आज सुबह session लिया था YouTube पे. Yes, Rishikesh, I've taken a session at 12 o'clock. So I'm sure it should be available. You can Google, you can search it once this session is over. I'm almost done with this. Another 1 or 2 questions only. Okay, so what is the answer? It does not get a seat in the board of directors. That is the correct answer. Venture capital may, which of the following is not true? So venture capital might want to get a seat. So not getting a seat is false. So that is the answer. Okay, not true means false. So venture capital may want to get it. Sometimes they choose not to, but it's not that they will not get. If they want, they'll get it. Okay. The first official equity funding stage of a company is called. We know the answer to this. What is the answer, guys? The answer is yes, seed funding. The very first money that comes into your business. What is that round of funding called? That is called as seed funding. And the word seed, basically, you know, you are planting something for something to grow. So, such a nice analogy. You are seeding, you are putting a seed for the plant to grow. So you are putting money for the company to grow. So that's one way of understanding it. Which online food delivery platform acquired Uber? Okay, this is a GK question. How many of you know this? Which company acquired Uber Eats? How many of you even remember Uber Eats? Uber Eats was there for about a year or so, year and a half or 2 years, and then it got acquired. Yes, the correct answer is Zomato for almost 350 million. It's a big amount. Okay, Uber Eats was acquired by Zomato. Next, which of these firms has not yet gone for an IPO? The answer is very, very obvious. What is the answer, guys? The answer here, yes, is BYJU'S. BYJU'S is not yet out for an IPO. So yes, that of course is your answer. Next question. Look at this. Of business is an industrial goods and service procurement. So this is an example they are talking about. You have to tell me which of these categories does this example fit into. Okay. So basically what are you doing? Industrial goods and services procurement platform. It procures things for industries. Okay. It provides raw materials for MSME. So the companies want some raw material. I will procure that raw material and give it to companies. So what kind of a business is this? Clearly this is, I'm a business helping out other businesses. So business to business. That's it. Okay. Question number 8. Which of this is a D2C company? Direct to consumer or customer. Direct to customer company. Which one is this? Very good. The answer is Licious. OLX is what? Customer to customer. Ola Electric is business to customer. Accenture is business to business. Licious is direct to customer. Okay. So friends, that brings us to the end of the session. I hope you all liked the session. So please give me a like on this before you leave. Your likes tell us that you've liked the sessions and you want more such sessions. Guys, we have these sessions coming up. Please make sure that you don't miss them. Please note it out and make sure that you attend these sessions. We are bringing all of these live and our faculty will make sure that you get the best of the information possible. So thank you guys. Have a wonderful exam. Have a wonderful week. Prepare well. All the very best. Don't panic. Thank you and see you soon.